Okay, I'm live. In a while. Decided to have a go at it because I'll have a go at it predicting what's going on with Iran and Israel. Let me turn down the light. Oh, lifting my head up just a little bit. As the world turns, as the heavens, or in the heavens, planets do their kaleidoscope, like clockwork, things change and certain things become inevitable and they unfold the way they unfold, and that is what is going on today. Upheaval, new world power, new world order. As they said in the European conference, China is an ascendant world power. There's no doubt about that. I know for a fact that they have managed to get a technological AI edge over everyone else, especially the United States, that makes us. It's like we're in the same position Japan was after Nagasaki and Hiroshima, but even worse. And it includes they hijacked our nuclear arsenal with small AI bots. They can detonate them if they want. Um, they can poke holes in them so they contaminate workers and poison them. They've probably made it so that we can't detonate them. That's I think, and I'm saying that because of a lot of people doing very, how should I put it, roundabout hinting as to that. What's going to happen with Iran and the Middle East and Israel? They all say the United States is going to get out. I predict it's going to be, oh, how shall I put it? The United States effectively will be out of the region, but somehow a bit of a mirage or face saving or something will make it so it is not decisively looking to be the case. It's effectively the case, but not 100% decisively the case yet. They're doing things so that our loss is masked and disguised, keeping us complacent. They're afraid of not pulling it off right, so they're really being careful and cautious. If they won the AI race, they're afraid that we could go, I mean, I'm not afraid, but if they're the ones in power, they're like the spoiled people at question 9 when I knew he'd win. But they all, it was a nail biter until the results finally came in and we won. Israel will continue to be bombarded by Tehran. So will many of the Gulf states and U.S. military bases. They will avoid the catastrophic thing of like Trump bombarding power plants in provoking Iran into retaliating by bombing even more energy facilities. Unless doing so is something they calculate will keep oil prices high enough for the sake of Russia continuing the Ukraine war, where there is a consensus about that underneath, behind the scenes, as to what the outcome should be. Trump's begging Iran to negotiate and stop. I think the U.S. will pull back, do fewer and fewer bombings and leave it more to Israel. And Israel will provoke a bunch of bombings against itself. And I do not see a good outcome for them. I see an exodus of Jews leaving. I saw that before. Oh, do you know that I hear the mouse? Oh, and he stopped the moment He's smart. He's drinking water, I think. Or running on the running wheel. One or the other. I need to get the new cage and put him in it. The one mouse I got from the store died, and I think that was a good thing in a way. Probably they replaced it with a robot or something that started acting really strange and didn't seem like the mouse. That's what happened with other mice who died. But the two mice I have are ones that were in this apartment that I rescued. And so I could tell the landlord, hey, this is your mouse infestation. I told you to close that hole that the woodpecker made. And I can tell that that's the hole they got into. It's not an infestation. One mouse escaped. There were birds outside. One mouse escaped and found that hole and came in that way, I think. Okay, enough of that. Pain. A little twinge of pain. It's not so bad, though. Okay, so intuition says, yeah, it doesn't see it sees Israel being bombed in a bunch of spots, like Gaza, like them doing to Israel what Israel did to Gaza. And a good amount of casualties, but I see demoralization. And it was like they were wrong. They were wrong. And this is a point I should make, and that is that Jews were persecuted in the past and also persecuted in the Holocaust. And that genuinely is so. But the problem is, it is so common. It is not the idea that some groups are victims and some are perpetrators, and you can't have both, is just wrong. It is not uncommon for victim groups to then turn into perpetrator groups. And when they do, their fair game is to be regarded perpetrator groups. It doesn't matter who was victimized in the past. Who cares if someone murdered your grandmother? You're not a victim because of that. You are accountable for your own behavior, regardless. They hurt Muslims, and the Muslims have every right to, But I see Lynn Robinson predicted that the Jews and the Palestinians will get along afterwards, but I don't know. I think a bunch of Jews will leave. I was going to say maybe for Europe, but almost wondering if they might leave for Russia. Many times. Okay. With Iran, my sense is that Trump is asking to negotiate, and Iran's going to pay very hard to get with that. Like, force the United States to really beg, which is humiliating to Trump, but they say he has a big ego, but it's almost like he doesn't. He'll cave in. And I think Iran will eventually make a deal with the United States, or they're going to say they will, and they'll keep bombing Israel and other places. Like they'll make a deal and they'll stop bombing for a day or so. Something like that will happen. They'll have to reach a deal with Israel separately. Maybe Netanyahu has to go. What do I see? I'm reminded of the Arabian Nights fairy tales I read. I do see the Middle East kind of almost like waking up from. It's like Sleeping Beauty, where the whole kingdom went to sleep, and then they wake up again and become this lively, inspiring society, and if they got their homosexuality back, open homosexuality back, and none of these yucky Western puritanical sexual rules, they could be a magical place again. But that's why I see almost waking up to become this kind of semi magical place like before. They have beautiful architecture. They're going to fix what Trump bombed and they're going to restore it back to normal. They're going to use AI to help them do a really good job of it too, remembering it and fixing it. They're going to fix that. They're going to fix that. Um, I see it's like a divide. Iran, one on one side, and then the other side, like stained glass windows, and you see the pictures of them inside. Sort of that magical place trapped inside something, but it'll eventually wake up. What about Israel? Israel's fake. They say that it's a religious thing, but it's not. It's fake. It's secular. Like ants leaving an ant hill that's been stepped on. I'm part Jewish. I don't know of any stories of Jews that have that inspirational type thing as like for Arabian Nights. One God, part of the empire that was controlling Old Testament harshness, all that combined with the um, lots of genetic diseases too, which make other groups shun them. That needs to be fixed. As if the Arab world needs to be reawakened, but Jews need healing. Not so much reawakening, they need healing. I think parts of the Arab world may reach out to them at some point. Whatever, whoever's left there. There may be a war, there may be death and badness, but then at some point they'll reach out to them. Who knows who? But turn the light off all the way. Okay, you can still see me. What's the spot in my vision? Let's see. It's as if we could see a king, but it's like the ace of diamonds. Or ace of aces. Yeah, ace of diamonds? Diamonds, or is it? King that's like a bug. What else do you see? I have to turn this light down too. Okay. I think Donald Trump might actually be impeached. We will see what he does. They might impeach him over the Iran war. Impeach and convict him and remove him. $5 gas. Like $5 regular. Russia doing very well and Ukraine running out of weapons. But that's the plan. Anyway, that's all for now.